Not all Muslims are terrorists. This is what Filipino Muslims want fellow Filipinos to know as the world remembers the 9/11 attacks. More now from Anya Suico.
Shahana and Al Nasser are young, active student leaders of UP Diliman. Along with their friends, they are part of an ethnic minority of over 5 million Filipino Muslims. On yet another anniversary of the September 11 attacks in the U.S., Muslims are again being cast in a negative light.
During my younger years, I was taught that Islam is not to the extent radical or to the maximum extent it's fundamentalist. So actually Islam does not tolerate suicide bombing and killing of innocent peoples in the cause of Islam.
In the most recent thwarted terrorist plot in the United Kingdom, 18 of the 19 suspects were aged 17 to 29 years old, the same age as Shahana and Al Nasser. While young people may be the easiest to influence and even brainwash, the two say not all devout Muslims should be seen as fundamentalists or terrorists. They also believe there are many more factors that can turn a person, not just a Muslim, into a terrorist.
One, it could be their personal experience, then the orientation in their family, their educational background at school, and the discrimination happened, and the customs and tradition of the people in the area.
Baibon Sangid, a Muslim professional, explains fundamentalism exists in every religion and philosophy. For Catholics, it existed during the Inquisition, and during World War II, it was the Holocaust. She says there are many forms of terrorism and even more ways to combat it.
My mother was butchered to death. Parang, I always thought that, like, parang bakit ganon? And at that time, medyo gusto ko maging vindictive sa mga Christian, parang galit ako. But on the other hand, a friend of mine who's also a Christian was killed by the Muslims. So parang, well, in war, there's always the two sides of the coin.
Experts say jihad extremists and radical clerics build on ethnic conflict and use Muslim struggles in the Middle East and poverty in Southeast Asia as a reason to fight. They twist a specific concept of going to heaven if you die fighting for Islam, which could make sense to those who live a difficult life. But Professor Soria says this is not the real teaching of Islam, which literally means peace.
God is not a killer God. God is not a bombing God. God is kun fayakun. Let there be life. Let there be existence. In other words, God is positive. If you believe in God, therefore you love life. You love creative power. You express the inherent power that you are in, and that is only use 10%. Be the greatest genius of life in life. That is Islam.
Southeast Asia and the Philippines in particular are considered a terrorist hub. But young Filipino Muslims like Shahana and Al Nasser believe the perceived threat is greater than the reality of poor Filipino Muslims in neglected Mindanao who strive for life's basic needs just like anybody else. Simple goals like education, livelihood, and transparent governance are all they ask. Reporting for News Central, Anya Suico.
September 11th is a day of mourning for many Americans.